So today's class will be discussing interface design, developing a good eye for design. So what we want to learn today is how to look at designs that are good and know designs that are good. So we'll be looking at two ways, that is inspirational designs and usability heuristics. So for us to be very good designers and better designers, it is very, very important for us to have an eye for good designs. We need to be able to tell, oh, this design is good and this design is bad. For example, let's look at these two designs. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah, thank you. So we can see two examples. The first one, you're seeing a login screen, and we can see underneath it, one is saying bad and good. And you can see the second screen too. One is saying bad and good. Can anybody, let's look at the first example, for example. Can anybody tell me what makes the first design bad? Interactive class, everybody. Can anybody tell me what makes the first design bad? Or we don't know? Yes, Aditoya.
Not sure, but for the first one, I think the three icons that have deep blue color.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your input. That's correct. So for the second design beside it that says good, what do you think makes that design good?
Okay, so the password is wrong and it's giving you the exact problem. It's not just saying error like the bad one. It's telling you what's wrong exactly.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Adetola. So let's go on. When we move on, we will now see what makes designs good and what makes design bad. So first of all, we'll be looking at inspirational designs. I'm very sure, I don't know if you guys saw my message on the chat, but I said people should create a Dribble account. Were you able to do that? Okay. So we have different platforms where designers can showcase their designs. So these designs, most of them are always good, but then some of them always have little issues. But then designers have platforms where they can showcase their designs, and one of those platforms are Dribble, Behance, and Pinterest, and there are other ones too that are very popular. So you can get inspirations from these platforms. The good thing about inspiration is that they help you see what what designs are good, and you can be able to tell what designs are bad too. And also when you look for these designs that are good, that inspire you, and you have your own projects that you want to work on or your own tax prompts that you want to work on, you don't have to copy those designs that you see exactly as they are. So, looking at inspirational designs, you have to think critically. You have to look at this design. What makes it good? Ask yourself that question. What makes this design good? For example, the slide I showed you guys previously, I asked you what made this design look bad and what makes this design look good. So you need to ask yourself those questions, to that kind of questions, that kind of questions rather, when you look at the designs that inspire you. So this will help you train your mind or your critical thinking, and then help you look at good designs. So after you do this, you want to create something called a mood board. So I also sent resources on inspirational boards and mood boards. So inspirational boards are boards or are files or folders where you keep inspirations or designs that inspire you. And one good thing about inspirational boards is that you get to highlight what makes you like this design. And when you do that, when you are coming back to it, because you can have like 100 inspirations, you can have like 50, you can have like 10, but to be reasonable, we can have like 5, 10 designs that inspire us. So we can always, in each of those designs, we want to like have something to highlight that, oh, this is what I like about this design and I'm going to use in my own design. So that's why we need a mood board or an inspirational board. So the first thing we're going to do now is to create an inspirational board now. I don't know how many people have their Dribble accounts ready. So I can see Uzo. Yeah, I can see Aditola. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Yeah, thank you. So we're going to do an exercise now. You can follow up on your own laptop or your phone or whatever device you have. So I'll share my screen, my Dribble screen. I'm coming. If you don't have those the accounts, you can try to create it. I've sent a video on the group chat, on the channel rather. I can help you with that. And if you have any other issues, you can always come for help. So I'll be sharing my. So this is what your dribble looks like. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, so I believe everybody can see my screen. So this is what your Dribble platform look like. You can see there are lots and lots and lots of design inspirations that we can look for. There are lots of designs that we can look for and that we can learn from and even try to emulate and replicate. So the second thing says we should the second thing I want to do on this call is to search for an inspiration. So the topic or the task we want to do now is to create a sign up page. Want to create a sign up page? That's going to be your like design task. So we're going to go ahead to our Dribble and look for sign up pages. So you want to go to your search and type sign up. So we can see a lot of designs for sign up pages, and we can see the desktop view and we can see mobile views. So let's say we want to streamline our search, we want to do for mobile view. Let's go ahead and click on mobile. So we see lots of design mobile view designs for sign up pages. So let's look at one. Let's see this one. Can we all see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah. So this is a sign up page, the one in the middle. The one in the middle is meant to be a sign up page, and then it's quite easy because it's saying your email, is asking for your email and it's telling you to choose a password, which is quite simple. We don't want to have a sign up page that is asking for a whole lot of details that is going to overwhelm us. So your email and choosing a password is quite fine. Then we also have um an option to sign up with Google or to sign up with Apple. This is also very nice. This is part of things that we can have in our design to make it easier for the user. Maybe I don't want to, because I want to sign up with Google because Google will help me choose a password and save my password so that every time I have to come here I don't have to think about what my password is. That is a good feature to have on a sign up page. So since I like this feature, I want to do something like this and pick it. So I'll copy this image and I'll put it on my Figma. I'm coming out. I'll show you how to put on your Figma very soon. Let's look for like two inspirations first. So this is one of them. And what I've highlighted as what's making this design good is because it has little details to fill on the form. And secondly, our sign up with Google or sign up with Apple feature makes it easier for the user to save their details, their credentials on Google. So those are two things I'm going to highlight. Let's look for another one. So another sign up page. This one is a video. So this is another sign up page. So what is making this one is almost as similar as the first one we saw, right? But then you can see that it has like a different layout. The one we saw at first has a different layout than this. So the forms are not the same. So we can decide, oh, okay, I think I preferred my form being this way, where I have the label or the title being on the form and something like that. Or the color. Oh, I love the color. So let's pick it soon. And then something else that makes this nice is the option of telling you that you already have an account. Do you have an account already? So you can just click on that and it takes you to the login page. So you see that also makes it easier for the user. If I already have an account, I just want to if I put an app on my phone again, maybe I reinstalled an app. So I don't want to have to create an account again. So I can just say already have an account and I'll click on that. So let's pick that too. So now let me share my screen with you and show you guys what I'm doing. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay. So I'm just going to go here. So when I picked my design from here, I did copy, image, and then I'll go on to Figma and paste. Can you all see what I'm doing? So I want to go in here. Anyhow you feel is convenient for you to highlight your designs. Yes, Joy girl. You raised your hand. Okay, so anyway it's convenient
Yeah,
for
I
you.
mean, I can see what you're doing.
Oh, okay, yeah. So anyway that it's convenient for you to write your or highlight your features or what makes your design good. So I want to do this, create a frame here and do this. Then I'll go on and say the option of the option of signing up with Google and Apple makes it easier for the users, makes it easier for users to use to store their credentials. And the second thing I said was that the information that you're going to have to fill is not too much. The details of signing up are not too bulky, are not overloaded or is not bulky. So you see, this is what makes this design good for me. So I've highlighted it there. So I can do the same with this design, the second one, and go ahead and write this is nice too, and the fact that you can log in from the sign up page, from the sign up page. So you see, that's that about that, about creating an inspirational board. So when you do this, you can always make reference to it later when you're now ready to draw your wireframe, okay, or sketch out your idea. You can always pick from these stuffs and say, okay, this is how my own Google form is going to look like too. My sign up form is going to look like too, rather. This is how my sign up form is going to look like. I'm going to have limited details to fill in. I'm also going to have the option of signing in with other means or other methods. Another way you can also create a mood board is do something like this. For this design that I have here now, if I want to save it, there's the feature that Dribble has is for you to do save like this, and then you create a new collection. See, I already have collections here of things that I wanted to build by myself. So I have something like blog design. I wanted to make a blog design. So I went to search for inspiration about blog design. I wanted to do a donation app too and stuff like that. So you can go ahead and create your own. And we'll name it sign up screen. And then if you have a description you want to put, fine, go ahead and do that. And then you create your collection. And that's it here. So you can always open this and you can always save more shots to it. So that is how to do, or that is how to use inspirational designs to get better with your design. Is that understood? Do you guys understand how to work with inspirational designs now? Okay, that's fine. So the next thing we are going to is usability heuristics. Now, usability heuristics are principles. There are 10 principles that are used for interaction designs. So you want to apply these principles so that it will be easier for your users to use your product or whatever you are designing. Your screen, your flow, your process is going to be easier for your users to be able to use it. And so these heuristics are not rules, but they are principles that can help you, that can guide use of your use of or your design when you're designing rather. So we'll look at them. So I'll show you this so that we can I'll be explaining as I'm listing them. So also sent a link for this one too. The Nelson Norman group link that shows you everything. So let's and look at them one after the other. The first one is visibility of system status. So you want to be able to show your users what is going on at a particular point in time or at a particular stage where they are. So an example is this image now. Looking at this image, if you can all see the image. So there are 5 steps to uploading or to doing whatever process there is to do, whatever process this is, but there are 5 stages. And so you can clearly see it here now that the designer clearly put it there that 3/5 is uploading. So you're on the third stage, and then that third stage is involving you uploading. So the user is not confused or worried about where he is in the process. So it goes further to even say whatever you are uploading, look at it, it is loading. This one has started and it's almost finished. The other ones are pending and pending. So that helps your user know that okay, this is where we are. because truthfully it's actually going to be very annoying if I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just working on a process and then I don't even know what I'm doing. For example, if you have to if you have to wait for something to load and then it's not giving you 10% done or 90% done, or it is not working at all, you get frustrated because you don't even know what process you are or where you are at the process. You don't know if you should cancel it and not even bother doing it, or you should just hold on and continue doing it. The second one is match between system and real world. So a common example of this is your icons, elements that you interact with on your screen or on your websites or apps. So your icon, if you look at your search icon now, your search icon is from a magnifying glass. It looks like a magnifying glass. Am I right? And you know what a magnifying glass is used for? To search for something, to make something clearer. So it is fitting for them to use that magnifying glass as search icon. That is one example. Another example now is looking at this image here. We can see what our card looks like, our real card, our credit card, debit card looks like. And so if you are putting it on the app and you are doing something like this, it makes it even clearer to your user when they want to fill in their card details. It just makes it more comfortable for them to fill in their card details because they understand, okay, card number is always at the front, your CVV is at the back, expires on is there too. So they just look at everything and it matches. The third one is user control and freedom. So you want your user to be able to have their own control. You don't want to be stiff with your design. For example, if you have to delete some things now on your phone, maybe some images on your phone, and you mistakenly choose one that you are not supposed to delete, if the deletion process just goes like that, immediately you press delete and it goes like that, you'll be frustrated that why would this have to go like that? It will pain you actually because you don't want this image to go. But then if you have something like this, that a prompt that tells you, oh, you've selected 15 images to be deleted, and then you realize that you picked one mistakenly, you can always go back and then you don't have to delete it, you don't have to suffer that loss. So that is what user control and freedom is. You want to be able to give them the opportunity to choose if they want to go back, if they want to undo something, or if they want to proceed. And that is also an example here. You've finished doing something or you've done a process and then it tells you undo or continue. Do you want to continue with the process or you want to undo whatever you've done? Then for one, it says consistency and standard. So this is very, very, very important in design. We want to use we want to be consistent when we are designing in one screen or one website. We don't want to have different things flying up and down. For example, if you have this kind of form, you want to use this kind of form, you don't want to on another page you will not be using a different kind of form. Your users will be confused actually. Or your icon for search is different from your icon of search on another page, your users will be really, really confused. Or you have words that you've used or terminologies you've used to describe something, some process, and then on another page it is another terminology entirely. You see that your users will be very, very confused. And that is what is here too. One thing that is also very, very important is you don't want to recreate your own thing, especially if it is not necessary. For example, if all of us we know what search icons look like, or all those basic icons look like, home page icon looks like, and all of those things look like, we don't want to recreate our own. We don't want to reinvent the wheel, so that in such a way that our users will not be able to understand this. Because to be honest, it's not just your product they'll be using; they are using other people's products too. They're using other people's products too, and it is the product they are familiar with. If they see familiar things, they are going to go for. If they just see lots of jargon on your page, they really will not go for your product. They'll go for your competitor's product. So we want to be careful. The fifth one is error prevention. So we are humans and we always make mistakes. So we want to make the mistakes, want to reduce the amount of mistakes users can make. We want to really, really reduce it. And if at all, if they have to make a mistake, we want to give them suggestions. We want to be able to like put them through so that they will not be able to make those mistakes or those errors. And an example is this one. In this sign up screen now, this person is entering his password, and then there's a suggestion telling you how your password should be like, so that when at the end of the day, when you now create your password, they will not be bouncing you back and telling you there's an error with your password. So it's already giving you the info, the details, minimum of 6 characters, at least one special character, at least numeric digits. So all these informations will guide you in creating your password so that you will not make mistake. The next one is recall, recognition rather than recall. So it's really, really unfair because users don't want to spend a lot of time on your website. That's what you should know. They want to just be done with their process. So it's really, really unfair to them if you make them have to start thinking about certain things or certain processes. An example is your login again, or your form. When you're filling your form, I don't know, has anybody ever filled their form and then the label on the form, let's say the label on the form is called name, and then when you now click on the form, you see that the tag there disappear, the label disappears, and then you start wondering, okay, what am I supposed to fill here again? I can't remember. That is very, very frustrating. Don't make your users have to think about what to fill or what to do. So always put it, instead of making it disappear, you can just put it at the top, or make it just somewhere that they can see that okay, this form is still for name. I'll show you an example on my Figma board, but this is one example. Something like recently viewed, things they've viewed before, or history will help them to um complete their tasks easily. The seventh one is flexibility and efficiency of use. So you want to be able to give your users a shortcut, something called a shortcut, and that is something that we all can relate to. Some things like Control C, Control V, Control Z can help us instead of having to go through the menu like it is here. Instead of having to go to edit and choose undo, you can always just say Control Z. And it is in our Figma, it is in most applications that we use. We always see the shortcuts there, and then it's easier for us to use, especially if we get experience. For beginners, it might be we might not know all the shortcuts, but then as you get experienced in using an application or a website, you should be able to, like, take shortcuts. It helps the user. The eighth one is artistics and minimalist design. We don't want to put too much irrelevant details or information on our website or our application on our system. We don't want to do that. If we do that, the user will actually not understand and will just leave. Immediately they're entering, they're leaving because there's just too much on your page. So you want to make use of enough white space, but that is not what it's about. You just want to put the important things, the first thing they want to see, put it there so that they'll be able to see it. Don't give them unnecessary details that they don't need at that point. And also, you don't want to overcolor your page or your app because the colors might be too distracting. So you want to do something minimal, something simple. Yes, and minimalism doesn't mean your design has to be ugly, like, but make it simple. In fact, it makes it finer when your design is minimal. So the ninth one is help users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. So definitely your users can always make mistakes. So what you want to help them do is recover from that mistake, know what the mistake is, and do the right thing so that they can move forward with their process. The example here is also for an account, creating an account. So the person has probably inputted a wrong detail. So it's telling you, sorry, the prompt is telling you, sorry, we couldn't find an account with that username. So that's the error. So it's left for the user to now go and find what the username is that I used for that account and redo the step. So it makes it easier for the user. And then the 10th one is help and documentation. I'm very sure we're all familiar with this too. If we buy a physical product like maybe an iron, an electronic, or something, we get called something called a manual that helps us operate that device. We might know about the device before, maybe we know how to use our iron before, but then sometimes we might just want to check the manual for special features, or something that is specific to that brand of iron or that brand of blender you've gotten. So the same thing is applicable to digital system. Our applications or our softwares needs to have something called like help or documentation, so that we'll be able to know how to use the application. Even if we are familiar with it, but then there are some things that might be different. So the help and documentation is going to help us. And another example of that is also something like having customer care or contact us. Those things help the users to, if in case they have a problem that it needs to be fixed. So those are the 10 usability heuristics that we have. So is that clear? Do we all understand the usability heuristics? Okay. So do you have any question about the usability heuristics or about the um inspirational design we talked about? Okay, so then let's go to our assignments. We have our assignments. We have two assignments that we are going to. They are actually very simple. They are quite simple. They are quite easy, but then so the first task is for you to pick two of those heuristics that we've discussed. We have 10. So you can pick two, and then an application or a website that you use on a regular. Look for how those two heuristics that, or look for how an heuristic that we've discussed fits into it. So for example, I want to pick Figma as an example. Figma is an app that I use all the time. So, and I've discussed help and documentation. Figma website has help and documentation for their application, for their Figma application. So that is something I'm picking. So I'm picking the heuristics, help and documentation, and my example of that is Figma. So I'm going to highlight it there. I'm going to go to the website and highlight it there where their help and documentation is. That's what the assignment is. Is that clear? Okay. So the second task is to look for a contact us page. Like how I've explained how to use your Dribble now. So go on, create an account on Dribble, then look for contact us page. Look for contact us page. Contact us page. Then go ahead and screenshot the ones that makes sense to you, that you like, and you ask yourself, why does this design look good? What makes this design good? Then you highlight it just like I've highlighted the ones, just like I did this one here. You go ahead and do it like this and you highlight it. So you do two of that. You look for two of those contact us pages and then do that. So is that fine? So do we understand the assignment? Do we have any question about the class? Oh, hi, Favor. You are raising up your hand.